Okay, people, a lot to be said when it comes to the latest chapter of Boruto 78, and off the gate, let's talk about that colored page of Naruto with the Hokage cloak, but this time around, opposed to it being normal red and white, it is with a bluish color with like black, and I'm not even gonna lie, I was digging it, I was feeling it, I was like, okay, alright, I love when they try to do the, I don't know if you would call it inverted, but when they kind of pull like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, changing the color scheme just dramatically type of deal. A lot of times they do that with Boruto covers and manga volume covers and all that stuff, and this cover with Naruto with the blue and white, I was really rocking with it heavy, but also at the same time it kind of gave me a little bit like, where are we going with this? What's about to happen? Why we got Naruto as Hokage on the cover? Oh boy, because of course where we left off, Naruto and Hinata were sent the way of the seventh, basically fulfilling the prophecy and premonition that was set forth in the very beginning of Boruto with the first chapter and episode of, yeah, Kawaki sent Naruto away, but it wasn't just Naruto because Hinata was sent away as well, and well, here we are. I must go. Now, the first couple of pages of the chapter was, for the most part, just filling in, like, okay, wait a minute, so Shikamaru now is aware of what just went down and transpired with Naruto, and also a little bit of a heartbreaking moment, because Himawari arrives home to see that, wait a minute, the picture frame is on the ground broken, I think the door was open, and just in general, her family is gone, and she could tell something happened, and it's kind of a little bit sad that this little girl is experiencing this feeling and not understanding what's going on by herself. There's nobody around, but I guess character development wise, it might be a big thing that'll trigger her into, because remember, it seems as though they're really building up and hyping up that Himawari is about to go savage mode, so to speak, and tear something up. I wouldn't be surprised, because also you gotta intertwine the thought that the anime and manga, they still try and keep each other in the loop on what they're building towards, and considering we had that big Himawari and Kawaki arc in the anime, this might be building up to a moment where Kawaki might actually run into Himawari, and that might be the one person that he can't pull into that direction as like what he's been doing with Naruto, Hinata, Boruto, and everybody else, because that's like the little sis type of deal. So think in a way of mixing in the whole Sasuke Itachi situation. Kawaki, he could threaten anybody, he could do all sorts of stuff, but I don't think he would be able to really go that hard on Himawari, and I'm wondering if this will be a big buildup of Kawaki going and maybe Himawari like crossing his path, so to speak, and him not being able to do nothing, but Himawari going absolutely wild and attacking him at some given point, because I could see that they're building up to that. But again, that'd be interesting to say the least. Also, it kind of makes me question, just like, yo, Ada a little bit even more sus than the usual, because when she's trying to see what happened with Kawaki, she doesn't really understand what he did. She's like, well, yeah, they sent him into some purple shadowy thingy majig, and I'm like, okay, she doesn't know the ins and outs of all this stuff. But again, it also demonstrates that Ada really doesn't care about all this stuff. She's just like mixed up in this situation, but in reality, she's just trying to go on her Prince Charming mission, so to speak. Like, she's not interested in what's happening here per se. It's just like, yeah, so relationships, dating, and oh, by the way, yeah, Kawaki did some stupid shit, I don't know, some there purple shadowy thingy. I'm like, Ada, you really show how much you care about this, huh? You really show how much you care about the plot, per se. And of course, it shows Boruto's rage as he basically charges after Kawaki once finding out of what Kawaki has done. And it really just set the wheels in motion for everything to come. Like, everything that happened with the last chapter is pretty much the igniting, passionate fire. Oh my god, the way I said that right now. But yeah, it's pretty much the igniting of where everything is moving forward. Because again, like I said, Boruto is rushing in. You got Ada recapping on the situation and seeing that Kawaki basically sent Naruto and Hinata away. It was basically like that chapter, if you skipped it for whatever reason, if you're a manga chapter skipper, why would you do that? You really need to go read that one, because it's massively important, and everything that this chapter is bringing forth is an extension of last month's chapter. And Ada, despite the fact of her disinterest on everything that's happening right now, does spill some very important beans in front of Sarada and a few others regarding Boruto and Kawaki and what had happened to Boruto, where Kawaki initially tried to kill him, which took place, what, like a year and some change ago now? now in the manga. Well, in our time or whatnot. Yeah, pretty much in front of Sarada, and that was also a catalyst to what's going to happen with Sarada's character arc, because the thing about it is that, and you could throw the argument, maybe it's because of the manga's monthly issue or whatnot, but yeah, we didn't really get to even see Sarada and them finding out up until just now what really happened with Boruto, that essentially he was killed, and then on top of that, Sarada didn't even find out until after the fact of him being resurrected. And I love the fact that it looks like the manga is really putting an emphasis on both Sarada and Mitsuki, but especially with this chapter, more so Sarada, seeing her response and reaction to Kawaki did what? Huh? Like, this is going to be, again, big character development, but even more so pushing Sarada to her back against the wall type of situation. Because remember, up until this point, minus the Ishiki stuff, there's been a lot of parts in Boruto where it's like Sarada doesn't need to be there, or Sarada isn't on the battlefield per se. And also the fact that Kawaki was kind of intertwined with their camaraderie and their, squad or whatnot. So this is going to be, I guess, despite, again, it's a tragic situation, a very big test and an interesting test on Sarada's resolve of where does she go from here? How does she handle the situation? Because remember, she is like essentially the flip side of the coin of she's the one that wants to be the Hokage. Boruto wants to be more like the Sasuke. So, well, what does the new age Hokage, so to speak, that is Sarada, how does she respond to a situation like this where it's not only just a political aspect of like, yo, there's somebody that is being a rebel rouser in the village, but also it's somebody being a rebel rouser that hurt somebody that I really love, and I kind of started to care about this person that's doing it to begin with. Where does she go with this? So massive props for them, again, putting more stock into Sarada as a character. And it just also shows how badass she is. The fact that despite getting the warning as well of like, yo, Shikamaru's like, stay away from him, he's unstable, she ain't having that, dog. So I really love and appreciate, again, the development that they're giving for Sarada as a character, considering it feels like a long time that Team 7, the original Team 7, haven't really been Team 7 and haven't really had those shining moments. So kudos to them adding a lot of this stuff for Sarada, and it gets me more excited for that vision when Sarada and them are charging and going after Kawaki. And then, of course, we cut back to Boruto charging in, using his karma to find where Kawaki is at, and they're on top of the Hokage monument. And 150%, it looks as though the Boruto series is taking a similar concept and flipping it in terms of the big battle scene between Naruto and Sasuke was always going to be the Valley of the End. The Madara and Hashirama statues, like, that was the big deal of like, yo, this is where we at. We've reached the peak of being shinobi or whatnot. It seems as though the big scenario or the big setting that is going to take place for Boruto and Kawaki's big battles between this part 1 battle that they're undergoing, and of course the big future time skip one, is going to be the Hokage monuments, but in particular Naruto, because it looks as though Naruto himself is basically a fusion of the setting of the Valley of the End with Madara and Hashirama. So the fact that they utilized that setting again, even if it was brief at this time, it's like, okay, this is where they're laying the pieces together of this is the final setting, so to speak, for their battles. So when Boruto and Kawaki are fighting in that future time skip stuff, for a long time, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, well, maybe that's not going to be the final battle. No, that's definitely what they're setting up for it to be. Like, this is, the iconic spot where they go at it. And Kawaki is still very cocky as ever, and still at the same time you can see possibly fighting within himself with regrets, because he tells Boruto, I wish I could just seal you away like I did them. Like, it would be a lot more easier. And he even pulls out the cubes of where he has them sealed or whatnot. And you can tell that Kawaki, there's no talking to him right now. There's absolutely nothing you could tell him. If even Naruto in the last month's chapter, Naruto wasn't able to move or persuade him by any means, and he still sealed him away, there is no talking to this dude right now. So regardless of who shows up, how they show up, why they show up, when they show up, maybe, now that I think about it, maybe Amado would be one of the few people, because Amado is a very slithering guy. I mean, he managed to get the damn karma back onto Kawaki and even make him question and shit like that. So maybe Amado might be the one. I don't know. Because, I mean, Kawaki gets to the point of even while him and Boruto are throwing hands, he says, no, there's no going back for me. This is my resolve. This is what I've decided to do. He's very, very hard-headed, and it's, again, a very similar situation. I got to keep referencing of, this is the Naruto and Sasuke situation. Of course, mixed, remixed, so to speak, or unmixed, however you want to call it, of what they've done before. And now this is the new age version of it. But Yeah, Kawaki is very determined and he's willing to do whatever. Well, Sasuke was too, so they may not even try and cap right there. And I ain't gonna lie, going back to Amado real quick, when it cuts to him and he's just devastated and shocked that, wait, Kawaki assaulted the Hokage and whatnot, unless he is once again lying and really putting on a performance of a lifetime on some Kanjuro One Piece type of deal, I kind of believe that Amado is telling the truth. And again, I think it's because things aren't going exactly according to plan, because I know the time travel thing is so horrible for people to wrap their minds around and they think that it's foolish, but if there is some time travel stuff, it would explain that Amado is shocked, like, wait a minute, in my timeline, he never did any of this. What's happening here? You muddied the timeline, fam. I know it's not confirmed of time travel. I'm just throwing that in there. It would make so much sense why he's so shocked that Kawaki would do that, because it's not like you really know Kawaki, or you really know his relationship with Naruto. And I'm going to move my hands from my mouth now. It was just for dramatic effect. I definitely noticed that they are utilizing the karma mark and the karma as a very big tool for the battle. You see a lot of Boruto and Kawaki going back and forth using karma, which, yeah, you see that they've come a long way from the initial stage, especially Boruto, of not being able to utilize it at all. Now they're starting to really get the wheels spinning on their ability to use these abilities, which some might not really like that. I know a lot of people are like, yo, we want taijutsu, man. We want classic Naruto, or we want some Rasengan type of battles, but this is what Boruto offers. This is the new age version of their combat system, and a lot of it is into this whole karma situation when it comes to these two in particular. And I love, I'm not gonna lie, again, I just gotta keep on championing Sarada when she shows up initially. Well, I'm not championing her right away, because Kawaki is like, yo dog, I'm gonna just be straightforward and honest with you. If you don't want to die, then get the out of here. And I was like, oh geez, yo, wasn't y'all the new Team 7? What happened here? But even more so, again, her saying like, yo, I'm gonna be the Hokage and I'm a shinobi, I ain't going nowhere. I was like, yes. It brings me back to when she had some of those epic moments of like when in the Boruto fight and stuff like that, where she was really taking charge and not backing down. And again, it leads into, this is why she is a great candidate to break the Uchiha curse and become Hokage someday. But of course, Kawaki going even further into the depths of just being a terrible person when he says, I bet, yo, you ain't going nowhere, say less.
Tiana, Khadijah, Lenny, Carvel, him, her, him, bodies.
And says that, yeah, all you shinobi are destined to die early. And I think that also goes into, because we got to remember some of that dialogue from that time skip stuff where he's like, yo, the age of shinobi is over. Maybe him saying that right now, in between now and whenever that time skip part happens, something happens that makes him realize, well, I don't want people to die early, especially the people that I love, so I'm going to end the shinobi era, and that way people don't have to die early anymore. If you think about it, it kind of makes sense why he would say that line, and then in the future, he says shinobi era's over, is because this is his method and his way of stopping losing the people that he loves to the system of, you know, the shinobi universe. And then we get a very, very big moment that hold on. Any and everybody that read or watched the first chapter or episode of Boruto has been waiting for this moment to find out who did it to Boruto, and majority of us were convinced that it was Code, but in fact it was indeed his bro Kawaki that gave Boruto the iconic scar over his eye. Basically, essentially Kawaki was really with the shits, so to speak, and went to attack Sarada with Boruto jumping in and saving her. And again, that was very reminiscent, and I felt like another remix or unmix, so to speak, of what went down in the Naruto Shippuden parts of when Naruto came and saved Sakura from Sasuke attacking her. That felt straight out of that with Naruto. I remember he got cut by the kunai from Sakura and he was like poisoned and whatnot. This one was a lot more dramatic with less of the comedy of like, dog. This is how Boruto got the scar over his eye. Wow, we're here, 2023. Started 2017 and here, well, no, was it 2016 that the manga started? It's been a long time, dog, and it finally happened, and it was actually Kawaki all along that did it. And then it kind of even gave me vibes, like just so many different things I could say from inspiration from all over of Naruto in particular, of like when Guy and everybody jumped in when Garo was about to slam and finish off Rock Lee, when it was just all of a sudden, boom, Shikamaru shows up and stops him using his shadow power. Boom, Mitsuki shows up wrapping his arms around him, and then the icing on the cake, the cherry on the top, Sasuke's like, yo, one move, bro, one move, give me an excuse, fam, I swear. I was like, yes, this is what it takes. Then yes, put homie in his place. This was kind of hype, very sad, but still action wise it was hype. And I do have to commend, for better or worse, Kawaki's resolve is very, very solid on, even with all of that being said, everybody charging at him, he's still like, yo, that's all fine and dandy, what you talking about, but you're gonna have to kill me because I'm not changing my mind on none of this stuff. So either pull the trigger or... And at the same time, I look at it like, well, okay, dog, there's a good and a bad to that, because there's a good to it where it's like, yo, dog, when he said on something, he said on something, but it's horrible because it's like, fam, the way you're approaching this, yes, change your goddamn mind on certain things, fam. It's okay sometimes to look at things from a different perspective, Kawaki. Darn you! And then that part sets it off even further for Boruto to awaken Momoshiki, because that scar over his eye, that gash, that slash that Kawaki just assisted on, provided, awakens Momoshiki, and it goes into an even bigger twist. And I was really like, holy cow, like, why are we going this way? Because Momoshiki assists and allows for Kawaki to break free from Shikamaru, Mitsuki, and Sasuke enough for him to escape. And he's like, yo, dog, this is your one moment. And everybody, including myself, and I'm sure a lot of you out there, were like, wait a minute, but he wants to kill you. Why are you helping him escape? What's wrong with you, fam? Are you stupid? Are you like, what? Stupid. And I have to go back and think one of the only reasons could be because he wants to save him again, the whole chakra fruit situation, and maybe that's what he feels like is his only key. It could be some weird alien brethren type of thing, which I highly doubt, because it doesn't look like the Otsutsuki have cared for one another throughout time. But could be like, yo, brethren, we've got to look out for each other. But I'm gonna lean towards maybe it's something to do with the chakra fruit, and it's like, yo, if I can still salvage the situation, that's what I'm gonna do. And I guess you also got to think that he might be looking at it from a futuristic perspective of, no, Kawaki is the one that will assist for me to take over Boruto's body completely. So yes, please feel free to be free. And then we cut to the final page, which once again a foreboding premonition from Momoshiki himself to Boruto saying, yo, dog, I told you, you lost one of them blue eyes, fam. You lost a little blue eye there, mate. And this is the beginning. You are going to lose everything in a shorter order. And yeah, Momoshiki was just talking some of that talk, so to speak. Ending it off with saying this cannot be stopped and the end has already begun. And I am there like, okay then. Honestly, Momoshiki has done the foreboding message quite a few times, and I mean, I guess considering it's like, hey, you know, he lost one of the blue eyes, although isn't that inverted? Because initially wasn't it that those blue eyes will take everything from you, but instead everything is taking the blue eyes? Where's the white dragon? Hey, come on, dog. Yeah, I know that was a little bit unexpected humor or something. I don't know. Come on, give me my props. Drop a like on the video. And honestly, fantastic chapter. The plot is progressing immensely. Sarada's character development has been phenomenal. Boruto himself doing his thing against Kawaki, and Kawaki sticking to his resolve, Momoshiki's foreboding messages, and once again taking over, even if it was for a brief period of Boruto's body. Things is going in massive different directions and twists and turns, and yeah, I want to know what you guys think. Favorite part of the chapter, your thoughts, expectations, predictions, all of that stuff. Let me know. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day, and thanks for watching. I always appreciate that. Legit, for real. Have an awesome one. Peace in.
I have a dream, alone in my room as I sit with the tea. Couldn't possibly think what I often see, and you don't even know how I often blink. Lights be flashing and looking at me, such an odd unique, yet I'm so unique, and you're looking at me. If the walls could talk, they would probably read bleak, and I'd probably say, bitch, get the fuck off me.